Graph each inequality on your own paper, then drag the correct inequality to each graph. Now if you take a look at the inequalities and the graphs, you'll notice that the parabolas are all in the same exact location. And these inequalities, they look the same except for the greater than, less than, greater than equal to, less than equal to signs. So really, we don't even need to graph the parabola. All we need to do is determine whether we want a dashed line or solid line, and determine whether the shading should be above the parabola or below the parabola. Now, when you have y is greater than or equal to, that means the shading is going to be above the parabola. So this one's going to be above, and this one also above. And y is less than or equal to is going to be below, and y less than is below also. Alright, now let me number these graphs. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now remember, the other part of the inequalities is if you have a less than, you're going to have a dashed line. If you have a greater than or equal to, solid. Greater than, dashed. Less than or equal to, solid. So this first one is going to be a dashed, and this one's going to be solid, dashed, and then solid. So for this first one, you have a dashed line and the shading is below. That means you're going to be at graph number 3, this one here. And greater than or equal to, it's a solid and your shading is above, which is graph number 1. For this third one, you have greater than, it's a dashed line and the shading is above, which is graph number 2. And then you have y is less than or equal to, that's a solid line and the shading is below. So that's going to be graph number 4. So here's a strategy using process of elimination, a little common sense, and your knowledge about inequalities to go ahead and match up these graphs.